Trying to get the people. Hello, Backgammon fans. Bill Riles, Tara Mendocino, Ace Point Backgammon, broadcasting from Dubai. The 2023 Oasis Tournament Cup here in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. This kind of hectic getting started here. First round, getting the players in position. We'll have 2 live streams throughout the week. Stream 1 I'll be doing the commentary on stream 1. We have a live transcription by Justin Knoll. We appreciate his contributions. And that match, as you see here, and they're getting ready to play, will be the defending champion of the Dubai tournament, Aykut Uzel from Ankara, Turkey, playing Aref Alipour, Iranian living in London. Superb player. I'm not that familiar with Aykut's game, but again, he is the defending champion, and then we're providing him the honor of playing in the first match. Now, on stream 2, which is on the Ace Point Backgammon channel, will be a match between Michael Vardanyan from Russia and George Rabahi from Lebanon. Now, since everyone else is playing, this is a Swiss format, no one's been eliminated yet, we won't have a live commentary on stream 2. But it is a very good match, a couple of good players. Vardanyan's a superb player from Russia. Rabahi recently finished in the semifinals of the high roller jackpot in Monte Carlo. And here, Aref Alipour from UK/Iran and Aykut Uzel from Ankara. So we are off and running. This is a Swiss format, 9-point rounds. There'll be 2 rounds played tonight, this one at 8 p.m. local time and a second one at 10 p.m. local time. And then we'll begin again the 3rd round tomorrow morning. Okay, so these guys, some nice early structural development on both sides of the board. 6-3. Now, Aref has a couple of options here. He does have the opportunity to run from the rear, but he's going to play 2 down, trying to build a bit of a prime to contain that one back checker. Okay. Now again, this is they've had this tournament once before, 2 years ago, but Patrick Jubelli is the director, organizer, impetus behind it, and this is going to be, it's a great tournament this year, and it's going to really, I think, grow tremendously in the future, as he's got a great vision and energy toward this tournament. And trying to follow this and talk at the same time here. 6-4 by Aref, but it's a beautiful venue, and it was announced a couple of days ago, and now every player, as if they didn't have the typical incentive to win the tournament, now they're all even more excited to perhaps win the tournament, because the two finalists, the finalist of the Dubai Oasis International Backgammon Cup, will be played at the top of the Burj Khalifa here in Dubai. So the tallest building in the world. We're going to be on the 123rd floor. We will be there with the live stream. Now here's an interesting kind of a pressure cube from my perspective. It's a double and a take according to XG, but doubles from the bar. But he does have a broken 6' in front of RS2 trailing checkers. So, that was the type of cube, I think. Oftentimes, I don't know that these gentlemen have played or really are familiar with each other's game, but that's a bit of perhaps a test cube too early in the match. And again, these are only 9-point matches, and sometimes those that's a much shorter match than perhaps we see in some other tournaments. But again, this is a Swiss format, which lends itself to the shorter matches. But again, kind of an early cube from Aykut and Aykut. Get that right. We get in not as familiar with some of the names in other cultures sometimes, and I have to kind of struggle to get used to saying them. But anyway, the normal incentives are there, but now this year playing atop the Burj Khalifa, and wow, that's going to be exciting. Now, any number of sponsors of this tournament, of course, you can see some of them on the board there. And in addition, Daman Markets is a investment in firm here in the UAE, and a primary sponsor. And of course, we're using the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel for Stream 1, and we certainly appreciate their contribution in that regard. Stream 2 is on the Ace Point YouTube channel. There's Ian saying he saw Aykut in Skopje at the recent WBGF tournament, and again, he's the defending champion in this tournament. So, and Ian follows the backgammon world quite closely and is really familiar with a lot of the skills of the better players. And if he says Aykut is a great player, then I'll take that to the bank. And of course, I am personally familiar with Aref Alipour, and he is a superb player. So this should be an interesting and entertaining match. Again, as I said, we appreciate Justin Noel will be providing transcription services on Stream 1 throughout the week, so you'll have the live XG feed. Now, as many of you perhaps know, I like to do the commentary in a bit of an interactive fashion. So if you have questions, comments, suggestions, critiques, whatever, I'm following the chat line, and we'll try to respond as I can and as appropriate. So be sure and comment anything you'd like. Jonathan Hardegree, Gary Olson, Bernhard, Mayor, thank you for viewing. Again, it was kind of interesting because, again, we were affording Aykut Uzel the honor of playing on stream 1 in the initial round. So who knows who he draws, right? And perhaps to his dismay in certain regards, but to our benefit as viewers, he draws Aref Alipour. So what a match. Okay, so kind of a standoff game here. Both are looking for the opportunity to pass beyond their opponent's outfield anchor. Okay, so again, both players have the superb home board, so you don't want to offer up the shot voluntarily. And if you get forced to do it, then so be it. So here, Aref, again, he's just going to clear this, I guess, and he'll save a 5 by not moving off the 6. So that perhaps buys him yet another roll in not leaving a blot. Now, Uzel has the same requirement of rolling a 2 numbers above 3, and likewise, he doesn't accomplish that either. So again, he could play probably 2 checkers to the ace. He's going to clear the 6, though, which is reasonable enough if he does end up leaving a shot. Okay, so any ace, he's slightly behind in the race here. It's a direct miss. Alipour with a 2-pip lead. Now 11. And I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but that's somewhat, from my perspective, seemingly an early cube from Uzel from the bar was correct, and of course it was a relatively easy take by Aref, and beyond withstanding some great rolling by it's almost even here. It's a little deceptive to look at, but both will have ideally 10 checkers after this roll. So if Aref stays holding serve, as it were, by both of them not rolling doublets, then Aref should close out this game. One of our favorite viewers is always following us, Mrs. Bubbles from Switzerland, I believe. Okay, so Aref obviously contemplating, does he have a recube here? And again, it's 10 checkers apiece. Probably no misses in his future, but that's a 5-roll position with no misses in either side. It's probably I think it's a no redouble and obviously a take, but and what is it? Redouble pass according to XG. Bill would have been wrong here. Now, players this caliber obviously will take the time necessary to run through their calculations and reference positions and so forth before before acting, particularly in cube play. And oh, is that nice? Takes I think it's a deceptive one go, and then he gets Ian says mega punished, and that's right. He got slapped seriously, and such are the vagaries and fortunes of backgammon. 6-5, so that's what we call 2 points or 4 points, I'm sorry, for Aref. Now again, in this Swiss format, we comparatively short matches, 9-pointers, and this is a 3-life Swiss format. You're not you can win the tournament with 2 losses, so the last person standing with less than 3 losses is the champion. For those that fall out along the way, there is a last chance flight on Sunday. Okay, set of nice 6s. And said, it's interesting. One thing that separates perhaps this experienced players, the very accomplished players, is they take the necessary risk where those are required, and there initially, and I thought he was going to stay with that play. I could seriously considered stepping up into that quasi blitz type situation that Aref had beginning, but it with the structure as it were, staying back against that developing advance by Aref is difficult to win from. He's going to have to pick that up. So now he's got 4 builders working on the 5-point, so that's the Tara just stepped out here, and obviously in this Swiss format, getting matches kicked off, and with this FTBG system, we don't have access to the pairings until the pairings are posted in effect. So, we like to have a bit of time on occasion to choose our matches, review the pairings and select our pairings. And now here's another interesting cube. I like the timing. Aykut has 3 back behind a seriously broken prime, but he also has 2 checkers behind Aref has 2 checkers behind Aykut's 5 prime. Aref takes it. So this is going to be interesting. Now, what does Aref roll, or Aykut roll? That's a tough roll, but he's going to play the probably 6 in and 5 to the, or 6 to the 1 and the 5 and hits 2. But now, even if I don't know that I'd hit 2, I don't like that. I'd keep the 5 prime and bank on let him come in with you might hit 1, but let him come in with the 1 checker, and anything other than perhaps a 1-6, he's going to have to crunch somewhat on the other side. I don't like this play myself. What does XG say to that? I think it wanted 10-4-8-3, which is what I would have played, I think. So again, that was I didn't look at the XG feed, but judging on the PR change there, that was fairly significant error by Aref, or by, I'm getting them mixed up again, Aykut. You haven't commentated anything since Monte Carlo, so it takes a little bit of time to get back in the flow here. Now, I did tell him Justin's doing transcription. This is going to be going to be an interesting game. Okay, he's got one now. Aykut just needs to get one of those checkers out. Gets 1 out. He could put, he can, this is probably a good play. He still has the opportunity to get those checkers moving. He can move the ones in the back with what, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3s and 4s to come from the,
because 10 o'clock you have round 2.
set of 3s, which is really kind of interesting because that, again, he's got the 2 checkers trapped behind the 5 prime, so he's in, in jeopardy of, he doesn't roll a 6, he's in jeopardy of crunching here. 5-1, he can step up onto that, so he has an anchor and he has them both positioned to be able to escape with a 6. Aykut needs a 4 or a 6 to get one of those rear checkers out. Okay, there's the beginning of the crunch. Now, again, this next roll is just incredibly crucial to this game. Mr. Finneran is in the house. Say, Bill. Because we can see what happens if on Aykut's roll here, if he doesn't roll a 4 or a 6, then he's going to have to break that 5 prime. Okay, a 4-5, so that gets him to go. Now he's got kind of inadvertently in sorts a bit of a trap play established here. He can survive one more roll before he rolls a 6, perhaps. But when he does roll a 6, barring it not being a double 6, then then he's going to be attacked. Okay, so he's probably just going to move them both off the 6. You don't want to leave 2 blots over there by hitting on the ace. Okay, I'm bringing. I don't know. I might have stayed back and fished for that 3rd checker. Okay. Well, you're right, Ian, and of course, Aref did roll the 3-2, or the 2-1 to point. Now he rolls the 3-2. 5-3. I think what did I do? I played to the 4 and the 12. He's going to play it all the way to the deuce. XG wanted him to play the trap even more seriously from that point. 3-1. Yeah, keep the 6-6. That's the minimized shots. A 6-2 and a 6-6. Had you moved the back one, you'd have 4 shots rather than 3. Okay, with that relatively advanced anchor, well, I'm going to say Aykut is in a relatively decent position to perhaps win too, but he is 21 pips down before that roll, so he's going to have a 10 pip lead. So it's kind of tricky sometimes exactly how to proceed. Now, if Aref rolls a 6, then Aykut can attack. Doesn't roll the 6. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's the pointing number. Oh, he went running in there? The door's closed. Okay, so looking to close it out there. There it is. Not a lot of gammons in the cup with only one back and one in the outfield. So, probably should coast home perhaps with a 2-point win here. So again, that was kind of an interesting game in my opinion. Interesting cube. And it's, again, first round in a Swiss format, two very good players. And we're 7.77 and 6.89. So neither are playing to their norm. But, PR doesn't count. It's Swiss formats, just wins. Okay. Aref rolled a couple of big numbers here. He could have gotten back into it, but there's still some potential misses for Aykut. There's one, play to the ace. Five, 4. So most improbable that Aykut would lose this. So here's the probably the closeout roll. There it is. Well, he could. There's 2 1s, 3 1s, double ones. So Aref may have 2 rolls, but needed sets on both of them. So 4-2, Aref. Now this is, and it's kind of interesting talking to Patrick Jabelli somewhat, the director organizer. Okay, this is at a Hyatt Regency in Dubai. A large, beautiful playing room venue. And Patrick says, that's for whatever reason, and we didn't get into that, but very few of the hotels in Dubai have large ballrooms suitable for a large tournament. So that kind of dictated his selection of this hotel. He said it's kind of interesting, and apparently, and this has been renovated, I think, and expanded. It's really quite a nice facility. But apparently it was one of the early large Western hotels in Dubai. And, it's kind of away from it's out closer to the international airport, and probably 8 to 10 miles from the city center of Dubai as we know it and see it nowadays with, all the high-rise buildings and so forth. But very nice facility. And again, it was built early on, and I say early on, we can laugh about that. I think it was in the mid to late 80s, some fashion, but apparently a number of, elite class of sorts, or both based on, lineage or wealth or what have you, used to have a lot of weddings here. And that was why this one hotel had this one big, huge, incredible ballroom, was for weddings. And apparently it has maintained that tradition of sorts, and there are a lot of weddings here. But it's a beautiful facility, and there's two towers, more or less. There's a hotel, and there's a condo residence tower, and a shopping mall with an ice rink and all that kind of stuff between and beneath them. So enjoyable. You can see the participating players, and I had meant to mention this earlier, so I'm glad you prompted me. You go to ftbgsystem.com, ftbgsystem.com, and you go to that, and actually you'll see a recent Cyprus tournament initially, but scroll on down and you'll find the this tournament, both the advanced division and the what in the States we would call the championship division. In Europe and here in Dubai they call it the Masters division. But you go to that, and at first you'll see a name list, but you scroll on down past the name list, and you'll see the pairings, the first round pairings here. Okay, so again, Aykut's built a nice structure, but he doesn't have anything to contain, as Aref has managed to escape both of those. So Aykut's going to have to depend on that 18 point to some degree to try to pick up a checker.
Very strict conditions.
4-3. So, I mean, what are his options? He could play them both inside, but that leaves 2 blots. What's the count? He's up by 4, so that's not particularly significant to the considerations. Okay, he's going to play it like that, but that leaves all 3 outfield points stripped. So he's subject to an unattractive forced move with a bad roll. 4-2. He's just got or what was that? 4-1, I guess. I'm sorry. So he just plays that off the 6 point. So he's still kind of treading water a bit with those 3 stripped outfield points and not much flexibility otherwise. 5-4. Again, he can go to the ace point. He can clear the 8 point, but then that's just to some degree worsening his continuing problem. 3-1. So the hotel is ready for visitors over here on Aykut's side. 6s. That moves a lot of freight and has some certain attractiveness, but he's got these 2 lonesome guys out here on the midpoint, but Aykut, I was going to say, is probably going to be forced to give up one of those. He can't because it included an ace, and Aref has a 5-point board. 4-1. Again, he doesn't have to crunch. He doesn't have to leave a shot. So anything without an ace, and Aykut can clear that midpoint. Okay, so he can't come down. Had he rolled a number which would allowed him to safety one of them, he may have had some minor temptation to leave a shot, but he couldn't leave 2. Yeah, Greg, thank you. ftbgsystem.com. Now, I think reasonable numbers here. I think Patrick had hoped to have a few more players than he did, and I actually anticipated, based on some of the, I don't know, talk, if you will, in the backgammon community. But I think we ended up with 169 in the Masters/Championship division, and I didn't look recently at the intermediate division, but it was in the 50 to 60 range. So well over 200 players combined, which is double perhaps what it was. And there again, score dictated somewhat, but okay, he's going to pay now. Well, he has to pay now. It is 11 shots versus 17. He misses. So now he's just got to hope he can outroll Aref here. Again, it's rather interesting, even with that. There's those big numbers he needed right there. So it's he's right back in the game. very close. In fact, he's got a 9-pip lead, but he's down a checker. There's now he's down 5 checkers. But you know, he has a gap there, which may cost him a bit. But you know, that's how backgammon is. Backgammon giveth and backgammon taketh away. Sometimes Aykut got back in the game with the set of 6s, but then you know, what oftentimes might be a rather innocuous set of 2s gave him a pretty substantial advantage immediately thereafter. Again, we hasn't froze here, Shay. Perhaps you we've got like 80 megabyte upload here, so we've got tremendous bandwidth. So perhaps you can refresh your browser or something and correct any problem you might be having. Eddie Towell, New York City. Hey Eddie, how's it going? Okay, a set would help. Not the end of the world if he doesn't get it, but it's close to the end of the world if he does get it. Now Aref needs 3s, doesn't get it. 4 to 4, 5-point match. Most interesting. Most interesting. Yeah, it's a nice board, Eddie, and those are all. And I'm not sure the manufacturer's name. I should know that. I'll have to get that from Patrick. But they maybe FM Gammon makes it. I know in certain respects, some of the components of it. These I know the new inlays that include the what's the name of that bunch? Damon Markets logo on it. Those were manufactured, printed here in Dubai, but I'm not sure if the board frame and structure itself, and it's obviously table boards, if that was, I know they have a relationship with FM Gammon, but I'm not sure if that was where those were originally constructed or not. Julie Tabot, what's up? Now, as we can, as we're watching it, and it's kind of interesting because, you know, and again, it's difficult to stereotype in any way, but you know, Aykut being Turkish from Ankara, and Aref being, although living in the UK now and a Londoner, is originally from Iran. They both play with pace, and you know, I've seen on occasion. I mean, neither seems to be. Maybe Justin asked them to pause for a second with a transcription error or something, but that's probably what this delay is. He's sitting right there next to them. But they both seem to play with pace. Certainly, I noted a time or two where Aref had perhaps a bit of a you know, tough cube decision, maybe a tough checker player too, and you know, and he's willing to use the time necessary judiciously, but they're both neither of them are particularly, you know, slow players in any regard. And again, I think that's perhaps they probably grew up playing oddly, if you will, or a variation such as that. And it's a very rapid-paced game, so there's probably some vestiges of that in their play. Okay. And this is a bit of an awkward roll. I like that. Aref has only a 2-point board. So, if he hits, he can't do too much immediate damage, and Aykut has every potential of making an anchor relatively quickly, and he does. Okay. We look at XG there, no double take. Yes, Julie, I miss Olivier. That was a lot of fun, and I think Julie refers to Olivier de Coteau commentating with me on a doubles match in Monte Carlo, which involved a French team, and that was a blast. I had a good time. Olivier and I are good friends. He speaks passable English, but he used a lot of French in that, and I think that was great. Yeah, Victor did cancel, Ian. Said it's too hot. They're at their home in Paros. It's an island in the Greek Isles. It's interesting, and George Kyriakos was commenting on the checkers, and, we all have different color perceptions and this, that, and the other. These are, and I have no problem with them at all, and I think the logos help that somewhat. But, there was another, and I don't even know, a recent tournament that had red and black pips and red and black checkers, and it was really difficult. But those were, I think, the reds were much more similar in color, and here, and again, the logos have something to do with it. But I'm not having any problem with losing any checkers on pips and viewing the board. Okay, so now this is going to be a difficult one to survive here. Ours probably got plenty of timing. Alex Shagan from LA. Hello, sir. Good to see you. As we can see there, and again, perhaps not surprisingly, I know through the first game they were both playing 7+. And Aykut has not been able to chisel into that PR much, but Aref is down in the, I don't reckon, there it is, 4-1-1 range. So that's probably much nearer his norm, maybe a little high for him, actually. But, Aykut is, not having the good fortune to play anywhere close to what his average PR probably is. Okay, now this is good because, 11's a fairly good roll, fairly sizable roll. Aykut would just like to burn some time, and he did with the 6-1, obviously. It's at a 5-4, so he's going to bring that around. I'm with you, Ian. I was probably blabbering too much about something else and didn't pay that close of attention to the cube. Okay, so Arf's going to try to be careful bringing these in. Aykut He'd like to roll big to maintain a bit of much of a board as he could, and of course was fortunate in doing so. But Aref gets to sustain the 6 prime here. Okay, so Aykut is holding on as well as one might can in this position. Now he needs a 5 to maintain some home board integrity, and he loses that, and it's going to be very, very difficult to win this, although the best number from his perspective for Aref. And so he escapes the Aref escapes the one blot. There's okay, so he's torn as to actually how to play this. He aren't too many options. He'd like to have played perhaps a little bit differently and save some potential for to perhaps achieve a gammon, but I don't think, there aren't many gammons in the cup, and just needs to play safely. Always like to recognize people in the community contributing to the community, and Alex Shagan is watching us tonight, participating in the commentary, or not in the commentary, in the chat line, and certainly, and I'll forgive or apologize to Alex for not remembering the exact name of his new book on backgammons, but that just came out, and I know he spent a serious amount of time in writing and refining and now publishing that book. So thank you for the community, Alex, for what you do in that regard. Backgammon, backgame strategy. There you go. And that's, I know, available on Amazon. So okay, so now Aykut's just he's just going to save the gammon, and has every likelihood of doing so. Yeah, that's what I would think. Dimitri is Aref's in 3x range, and he's playing. He's worked it down quite a bit, so he's approaching his norm, I guess. Aykut, I think, is probably playing a bit high for himself, but it's been a fun and interesting match. Now, as y'all can see, and I should have mentioned this earlier, of course, Aref's playing the black checkers at the top of the board, and he's on the right side of your player cam there in the white shirt. Aykut's playing red at the bottom of the board, and he's on the left in the black shirt. So both relatively young, very personable, nice guys. Okay, so this is foregone conclusion now. This game's going to end, so it's going to be 6-4 Aref, 3 away, 5 away for those who take that perspective in games. was kind of interesting. They had some side events and warm-up events and so forth starting today. His clock is running, but fortunately there he stopped it. So he lost very little time, and they both have a lot of time. They're going to take a bit of a break. Now, perhaps Tara can switch us over to while they're taking a break, and we can see what's happening on stream 2. Again, over there, who did we have? Michael Vardanyan from Russia. Very good player and super nice guy. I've known for a number of years. Oh, there she is, the double screen, 2-up, she calls it. So there we have Vardanyan with a 5-4 lead, and judging on the position of the cups, they decided to take a break at the same time. But we can see that Vardanyan is leading 5-4 over George Rabahi from Lebanon. They didn't change the score. Apparently, Tara's going to correct it for us. Uh-oh. Turning. Okay, 9-4 Vardanyan. So much for a break. They took the permanent break. Hasn't that title been claimed any number of times? I don't know, Tim, if that is a real book from you or not, and if so, I apologize. I'm not familiar with it, but I can imagine that any number of us might have been able to author it. Congratulations, Michael, or Mikhail, I guess is appropriate.
Congratulate me too.
Hey, did you win? Look here, Phil.
I won. I usually come when I'm losing, but this
Phil,
time I won.
yeah, that's one of the things about some of these quick matches. You got, and there's fixed start times on each round.
I love this FTG system is incredible.
Yeah, so
Everybody should do it.
Phil Simborg joining us here.
Hello, everybody.
Another one of the Americans here in Dubai. So it's going to be an interesting tournament, I think. This is a tournament of the growth for the future, I think. And it's in a new area. And Patrick certainly has the energy and the vision to make it successful.
I came because I thought it would be a real easy draw. But then I looked at the list, and it's just filled with giants. I had a very tough first match, too. Jan Djokovic from Germany.
I recall that you had drawn in. Djokovic is a very good player.
Yeah.
How did you win?
I won with an 8 cube. I'm serious. It was not a coup classique, but I hit his. He had 2 checkers left, and I hit, and I kept recirculating until I hit the second checker. Then I closed it out, and I took 3 off. And I was winning 5-4, holding a 2 cube with 3 checkers off, and I recubed him to 4, and he took, and I really got to put that in because I think that was a pass. And then he recubed me immediately to 8, and I got lucky.
Aref.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we're off chatting on other things now while y'all are taking a break. But a good match.
So who's playing? Aref and
Aykut Uzel.
Oh, sure.
From Ankara, Turkey. He won this event. He's the defending champion.
Aykut's very good. They're both very good.
And it was kind of funny because we were going to stream Aykut as an honor for being the defending champion, regardless of who he drew. And so, who knows, right? It could have been.
Well, we made that same mistake in Monte Carlo, if you'll recall.
Yeah, well, I do recall.
Yeah, we streamed Sander, and he's playing this beginner, and it would have been a horrible match, except the beginner won.
Well, here we fortunately we get a great match with Aref being paired against Aykut, and wow.
I'll stick around until my next match because this to me is more relaxing than playing.
What time is it anyway? I don't even see.
Right now it's 5 to 8.
Yeah, so we got an hour and 5 minutes. The next round is 10 local time.
That's great.
And so it'll be fun.
I was very impressed with the opening ceremony. It was very classy and well done. They have great sponsors here. And then he pulled out those cakes. He had a whole bunch of these cakes. He's had every single player's name on each cake.
Yeah, there were 10
Amazing.
cakes.
10 cakes to get all the players'
And
names on it.
all the players' names were. Now, did
Wow.
you
I had a piece of cake for
did
sure.
you have a piece of your own
Oh
cake?
yeah, no, not
your
my
name on
own.
it?
No, no. I wouldn't have done. I would rather eat mochi or it's my favorite ice
Hey,
cream.
remember where we are now, Phil.
Well, I wasn't talking about anything off color. I like mochi ice cream. It's my
We need
favorite.
to exercise some discretion, and innuendo, but nonetheless, it was a nice opening. Patrick's put a tremendous amount of time, energy, money, and work, I guess, into this tournament.
Hey, look,
And,
anybody who cares enough to do it right and have you and Tara here, that proves that he cares about the tournament and cares about the viewers and the growth of the game.
well, we certainly appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, this is the classiest streaming in the history of Backgammon. It's great, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it with you guys.
Well, we
Whenever I can.
we enjoy it. I know, we had the opportunity to work together considerably in Monte Carlo, and I think that was a huge success for everyone.
I think
And,
we're up to over 50,000 views of the final match.
Yeah, we're up close to 60,000
Close to
now.
60,000, yeah.
In 5 or 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same number as have viewed in 13 months or something.
Uh-huh.
The Sander Zdenek
Yeah,
final from last year.
I can't believe that many people watch it. I mean, I had Mark Olson and Wilcox Snelling doing the commentary with me, and I thought that would take away from it some because I wouldn't get to talk as much, but people went to watch it anyway. I can't understand that. I've only got to do a third of the talking.
Yeah. So most again, that was great, and we ended up, and it's kind of funny because as many big names were there, and this is not to reflect in any way. Frigo was a defending champion, or not a defending champion, a former champion.
Former champion, yeah.
And Mario Cool is perhaps not as well known as a lot of players, but boy, did he put on a performance all week in the super
Yeah.
high roller and the main.
I can't remember anybody playing that well and losing in the finals since Bob Wachtel. I think Wachtel played under 3 and lost in the finals. And Joe Russell in his second match played very, very well, but I think he played around 3.
With Jorgen.
Yeah, with Jorgen Granstad when Jorgen won it the third time. So I mean, to play that well and lose is almost a sad, and it's a testament to how tough he is. When you're losing, it's hard to keep playing and keep your concentration that well.
But it's interesting, and again, I love Frank Frigo and Mario Cool, and they put on a tremendous performance. It was a great match, but you would expect the kind of numbers we got if Mochi or Kiko or Victor or whomever, maybe bigger names in certain regards, were in that. But
Yeah. Let me tell you,
we got a great performance, and
I didn't know much about Mario Cool before that tournament, and now he's going to be high on my Giants list in the future.
well, the only thing
showed me
that
something.
I knew about him in advance of that was that in the New York Metro this year, he defeated Victor in the final, in the high roller,
high
or whatever
roller.
she calls it.
Well, I had heard he was a great money player, but I know people who play money games and don't play too many tournaments. They don't usually play under 3 PR like he did.
Yeah, and I didn't. I've heard this. I don't know for sure that this is the case, but I understand he was, way back, and I say way back, 15, 20 years, he was, I don't know, owner, investor, CEO, something of that, Play 65 Backgammon, which was
Right.
fairly substantial. I guess
yeah.
one of the things that really hurt it was when the U.S. cut back on
On the gambling.
the gambling.
I represented Play 65 in the United States. I thought it was great. It was a great platform at the time.
Okay, so here we go, Phil. We're back on board.
So Aref is winning
6-4.
3 away, 5 away is the way I think of it. Which is a little bit strange that this took me a while to understand why the leader has a lower take point than the trailer. The trailer actually has to drop a little bit faster if there's no gammons, which is really surprising at these scores, but it's because of Crawford and what 1 or 2 points does for you. So that makes it's another illustration of why match play is so complicated compared to money play.
Yeah, to catch up to Jurgen Kunkel's question, you can go to FTBG's system, ftbgsystem.com, and see all the brackets, the player lists, and what have you.
Yeah, when you win or lose, they scan your lanyard, your QR code, and they immediately put it in, and it goes on the website too. It's just an incredible. And then they tell you what table you go to at next time, and who
you
you're
get
playing.
an automatic text when they do the drawing.
I haven't been getting the text. That's not working, but maybe it will work for others.
Did you download the app?
Oh yeah, I've had the app from before.
Ah, they stopped there. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Classic, what I call the midpoint standoff game, and although with the holding the 5.2, this is a pretty complicated game, but it just got uncomplicated or less complicated.
less complicated.
What do you do here, Bill? I come down from the mid. I don't need the midpoint so much anymore. I don't want to bury the checkers. I don't like this play at all.
I
must be
tend to
wrong.
be with you, Phil, and
Yeah.
I mean he's got to play over the next roll or two. I mean
Yeah.
he can probably sustain one roll such as that to
You
clear
got the
mid.
XG feed. It said it was
XG
right by
feed,
a lot.
yeah.
I didn't notice that. It was right by a lot to bring them all down. Okay. I'd like to cover up the XG feed. I can make more of a fool of myself that way, which is not a hard thing to do anyway.
Well, it's great with you winning your first match. I was telling the viewers earlier. I mean, as if winning a tournament isn't always incentive enough for these players. Everybody wants to go to the Burj Khalifa. So, the final will be played on top of the world, as it were.
Oh my God!
And
How are we going to do the commentary from there? That's going to be tricky, isn't it?
we're taking it all down there.
Oh my God!
We're going to be doing
Oh my God!
the streaming and commentary remote
Oh my God!
at the Burj Khalifa. Tara and I were down there Friday with Patrick Gibelli, and we had a meeting at the the location.
Did you drive a truck from Texas to here with all your equipment? It's amazing how much stuff you have to bring to get all these different camera views and everything. It's just terrific. Here's a blunder if he makes this play. Oh no, he made the right play. Okay. Yeah, you just got to kill checkers here. It's not fun.
The winner is for
That's not too bad a play, breaking
Not
the 8
too
point.
bad,
Not
but-
too bad. I'm impressed with Aykut. I've watched him before. He's a very good player.
The first game or so, they both were up in the mid sevens, and Aykut worked it down somewhat. Aref has worked it down significantly from there.
This roll is a nightmare, but you got to play it, and that's the right play. Leave him the fewest shots, and
Okay.
he's very brittle too, so you don't want to break the back point. Not a double, but by a little bit. Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
Well, if the score was reversed, I'd double.
Absolutely, and you would probably be right in doing so.
For money, I would double too.
Oh, that's interesting. Ian Terry was just telling us that, David Klasa won the Skopje tournament here a few weeks ago, and he said Aykut was the person that sent Klasa to the second chance, and then Klasa come back and won the tournament.
That's great. David's a nice guy. I was happy to see him win. He was on my team in Trier for representing the U.S. He's a good player and a nice guy.
Okay, so he's going to,
8s and 9s.
rather than crunch in any fashion,
8s and 9s, there's the 8.
Or split the mid.
Yeah. Notice how I said 8 and 9 before the roll. That's a very good thing for all intermediates to learn. That you don't miss shots that way. Call them out.
and you can
Now.
crow a bit if you were right, and if you were wrong,
Yeah.
who expected you to be right?
No, if you're wrong, you hit anyway. I think this has got to be a pass.
Big pass.
Yeah, got to be a pass. There's even some gammons involved with those 3 checkers on the outside. Oh yeah, there it is, 22% gammons. Huge pass. And he doubled very quickly. I would double very slowly.
It's interesting. Dimitri's giving you a little flack, you know.
Dimitri loves to do that. And there's only one reason he does it. He knows he's smarter than I am.
Okay, so
I would not
This
waste my clock on this one.
now, not with the lead. You know, we're even or something. I might think about it a bit more, but it's too easy to dance a roll or two, and
Well, it doesn't cost too much to think. That's a good lesson. But this doesn't seem to be close.
can see here. I'm gonna play with some of my new toys and see how this works. You know, with those. Well,
right,
now
he
we missed
passed.
it, but he had those 2 voids there, so it was.
What we
He
call a
was
spaghetti board.
55% to enter, but it's
Gonna get hit
you
again.
also dance 45% of the time, and he's bringing 4 checkers around against you. You had a lead.
Okay, it's 3 away, 4 away. There's one really, really interesting thing about this score that I always keep in mind. If the leader doubles, his recube take point is 40%. So the leader really has to be a lot more careful doubling if there's much game to go. Because it's very hard to take the recube.
Oh, I purposely was just making a point that rather than dragging. I got you. Yeah.
You getting in trouble with the wife again?
Well, he tries to.
We all know who the
Keep
boss
us in
is
line.
here. We know who the boss
and
is.
you've worked with us enough. You know she runs a tight production.
She does a great job, too. But how does it feel to live with somebody who's always right? What's
Well,
he
you
doing?
can ask that-
Wait a minute. Oh, double twos. Okay.
You can ask that of any man.
He better say yes.
All players who lost in round 1, 10 p.m. round 2. This is the Swiss format. The player has 3, and today we will play 4 rounds for everybody.
So this is another tournament where you can lose and still win the tournament? You can lose once and still win?
Huh?
The tournament's a double elimination?
It's actually triple.
Triple, okay.
3 lives.
You can lose twice and still win the tournament.
Correct.
Oh, good. Much more hope for me.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm not sure yet if we're streaming it or not, but y'all might check in with us in the morning. Mochi's giving a lecture at 10 a.m. local, which is, for you people in the States, 1, 2, 3 a.m. It's no big deal. But
Will it be streamed and recorded?
it will definitely be recorded. Where
Good.
it's streamed, it'll
Good.
probably be recorded even if it's not streamed, but
And
we're
I
still trying to work out the details of that.
And I see on Sunday, Zedek's going to give a lecture on the cube.
He
What's
is.
Mochi's lecture about?
I'm not sure. And Michi's giving one Saturday.
Wow. Mochi, Michi, and Zedek giving lectures? I would come just for that.
Worth the price of admission. huh?
No question about it. I would come just to hear those 3 lectures. 3 of the best in the world. And 3 authors, too. Three very good authors. I just
Okay,
love
so what
Mochi's
do we got
last
here?
book.
So we got a 6-1 to play for Aref. He's
Well, XG
I
says
mean,
you
it-
just stack the 5 point, and that seems like a natural play.
okay.
Is he thinking about hitting 2? hitting two's not terrible, but it's certainly not right. Yeah, that's the thought I would have also when I'm losing, and I don't blame him for making that mistake because that looked sexy.
Yeah, you might ask him.
Once you slot that ace point, you're supposed to make it nowadays. McGrill would laugh at you in the old days, but now that you do it,
Okay, and there's that now.
I don't think this is a take even at the score. I'm
Well, we
That's the
know
first-
the game plan
Oh.
from here if he
there. It is.
sends it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's going to be full speed ahead,
Yeah,
blitz mode.
It's blitz, and it's too many gammons to take. There's enough wins here, but there's just too many gammons.
Now, with this score and this kind of play, I mean, someone like Aref's probably got this in his reference position repertoire.
I don't know. This doesn't look like a reference position to me with those two checkers back on the three. I would have a little trouble with it myself. But he certainly did the right thing. It was an easy pass. Okay, three away.
Three-way.
Take points are 25% on the initial cube and 25% on the recube. I always think about those things at the beginning of every game. And the gammon value with the cube turned is 0.5. It's just important to get your mind set on these things so you don't miss a cube.
I don't have those times in front of me, Tim. I'll get them for later. Mochi's definitely 10 a.m. tomorrow. I think Michi's maybe 11 a.m. Zdenyek's 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're trying to work it out. Tara and I were trying to work it out where we could stream Zdenyek before we break down and head to Burj Khalifa. And okay, so now again, both of them are really just kind of looking for any opportunity.
This is interesting.
Here.
Do you hit or to make the
five,
point?
Or do you?
Wow.
I'm making the 5. I think.
Usually it's right to make the 5 in here, but I would have some problem with this play.
Justin's a good transcriber too. He's running at higher.
Oh, Justin Knowles doing it?
Justin
Yeah,
Knowles
he's great.
doing the transcription.
He's great. I mean, Patrick has not spared any expense to get the best people here. He's got Mate here helping. He's got you and Tara and me.
He
And
got
Justin.
Justin.
A lot of people here on staff, and plus the whole team of Fuat's team.
Well, he played in
Monte Carlo.
he stopped her this year.
Oh.
Jabelli did, and he was so impressed with that FTBG system that he just on the spot more or less bought it for his tournament.
The first time I saw it several years ago in Turkey, I tried to buy the system, or I at least licensed it for the
Right.
entire world, and it just didn't work out because he wanted money. I mean, how garish can you be to want money for something that you've developed?
Okay, so there's a nice roll. 9. So now it's just a question of where the fourth one is.
Okay, but you got a 2-5 back game, and especially at this score, you almost never double this game. This is always going to be a take. You can't lose your market unless he crashes his board. So this game is going to go without it. Should go without a cube for a long time. I like this play a lot. He's going to time this game.
This is interesting.
Come out. I would have come around. Oh no, he's got 3 checkers on the 5. I
Got
would
3 checkers
Yeah,
on
if he
the
had
5,
2
he
checkers on the 5, I would come around.
Exactly, I would too. But
Yeah.
he doesn't have to give up the anchor to hit.
Yeah. I like teasing my opponent to come off his anchors, but this
Yeah,
is
it's kind
not
of
a tease.
So what's he do here? He's got any 6, right?
Yeah,
So he plays.
it's all reasonable. They're all
Yeah, I doubt, and they weren't hugely
No.
different. 2, 3, so he can hit and point.
I don't like making the 3-point there. It was right, but I would have been very tempted to just keep it loose. But it was right, so I'm wrong.
And he hit that one, and now Aref doesn't really mind that. He gets to recirculate some
Yeah.
checkers while trying to build a board.
This again, this game is going to go for. There's no market loser here. Why would he? You can't double. There's no market losers. Double 3, even double 3, you still might have a take. Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no!
No double.
This is a huge
take.
Huge mistake.
Pretty big mistake.
I
too.
love holding the cube here with the 2-5 back game. That's reasonably well timed. I can't get that was not good.
Now, as long as Aref can,
You know why he did that? Because to make me look bad. I said this game was going to go for a long time without a cube, and he had to contradict me.
Aref just needs to be able to escape one or both of those spares on a 5-point,
Yeah.
just to, for timing purposes. And
He's got a massive recube too. Well, 25% is the recube take point, but he can redouble for the match. Pretty exciting. That's why it's so wrong to give him that kind of big. I like this play.
I like this play too. So, and it's the correct play. So,
You want to give your opponent some bad numbers to crack with. No.
and this is
No.
this is pouring fuel on the fire.
Yeah. Are the PRs being shown along the way?
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
3-8-2 and 6-5.
Yeah. From what I've seen so far, Aref is really outplaying him. Oh, make the bar. Make that bar. That's a beautiful roll.
Couldn't
Yes.
ask for anything more.
No, that's gorgeous. What else? The other reason it's right is nothing else looks good.
Now, to answer one gentleman's question, how can I watch other games? We're streaming 2 matches per round. Stream 1, which this is on the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel. Stream 2 is on the Ace Point Backgammon YouTube channel.
Do you have a commentator on stream too?
We don't right now because everyone was playing.
Oh,
Some guys sitting there watching.
I should have gone over there. Yeah.
Well, that match had finished.
I see.
Vardanyan won
I got you.
quickly.
I got you. Next time I'll know. I'll run over to the other.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, but that match had finished about the same time
but
your match
I'd
finished.
much rather be here contradicting you than anything else.
Okay, now that's gonna help. 1, 2.
And make the bar.
I think that's all he got. Huh?
There's just
Yeah.
no other alternative. That's tautological when I say no other alternative.
Now that's a. He'd have just as soon rolled something else. And he would just as soon that Aref had rolled something else. Hit a second one?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already timed. You got that many checkers back. Just go for it. You could win a gammon for the match, but also hitting 2 gives you more time to remake your points. Hit and make the bar.
Hit and make the bar, I
Yeah.
guess, right? You could make the 5. Might even hit and make the 5, Phil. Now this is probably right. What's it say?
It is right.
Yeah.
Hit and make the bar. Once in a while, your instincts are right. Ooh, this is a fun play. Creative. A little too creative.
Yeah, but he may well want that anchor, though.
I don't think so. I think
What's
the anchor.
what's it? 13, 11, 11, 7.
No,
So
I
it's,
think-
it's
I
the
think-
bar.
yeah, I think-
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this? 11.62. That's 0.68 error.
The reason this can't be right is I've never seen that play. Every time I see a play I've never seen before, it's very rarely right. That's the play. Nothing wrong with looking. It's a good roll. Another good roll comes out, and I would come up. No, he's right. I would have come out coming up as a tie.
Now, another thing, and just as an aside for the viewers, you were talking about all the staff and associates Patrick has brought in here. You probably also noticed, I mean, there's about a film production crew of about 16 people in here taking
Amazing.
pictures, interviewing people,
It's amazing.
photojournalism of every sort.
And they're doing interviews all over the place too.
Yeah, so it's
Amazing.
they're going to do a documentary on the tournament, and actually early this afternoon, 5 or 6 o'clock, Dubai TV was here doing some coverage and so forth. So it's getting some great exposure.
I'm telling you, everywhere I look, backgammon is on the up. It's growing. I gave a lecture in New York at a private club 2 nights ago. 64 people with standing room only from just one private club.
Well, did you stand in for Mochi or something?
They misspelled my name. They spelled it Mochi. That's right. That was good, Bill. Very good. Hey, you got to be able to take it when you dish it out like I do.
There you go, baby.
All right.
And this
Ooh.
is
I make my 5 point. It's wrong. Well, only wrong by a little bit. I would have come in and made my 5 point. It's wrong by 2%.
I mean, these are. There's so many permutations. So these are
Millions.
impossible to play well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think that now I like this because he's crashable. If you can prime him well enough and untime him, whoops. Never
Hard to do against 3 anchors.
Never mind. You do not make the ace point here. That's the last thing you do. That's the kiss of death in these positions, is to make your ace point. You'd rather get hit and recirculated.
6-5. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd go ahead and start that. And
Well, he's only going to hit you with a 3. He's not going to hit you with the other 2 numbers. Hit again. May as well come in and hit. Be consistent. Come in and hit. Go for the crash. Wait for your opponent to roll double 4s or double 5s. But Aref is not cooperating. This is such a fun game. This is close to my Backgammon variation. I just love this. I just love this.
This is an interesting one, and it's been a long game, and it's going to be a much longer game.
I have no clue how you play that. I think he made a good play.
Set of fours. Now that's a nice.
It just doesn't do much of anything. It actually
Doesn't
helps.
do much of anything, but
Actually hurts his timing. He's actually
hurts his timing,
he's
but
actually helped the reef there.
might not help. Now that's a nice roll for
Oh,
Aref. Nice
yeah.
and slow.
And by the way, there's another play that was close. That's amazing. Getting off that ace point so you don't get hit and recirculated there. It was really close. Shocked me. I thought the 5 point was automatic too. So there's no camera on us, huh? We can make faces and anything we want.
We can make faces now.
Oh,
If
good.
they take a break or whatever, Tara might switch over to the
It's different from Monte
commentator
Carlo.
cam. But for now, they're spared looking at us.
That's good. I don't have to comb my hair and shave. You know?
Yeah, they'd much rather look at Aref and Aykut. They're young, nice-looking guys. They're not.
They got Justin Knoll on the wrong side of this. He's the handsome guy, and he's very good at commentary too. But he's so good at transcribing. We need him. That's a hard.
And
job.
one thing that's good about Justin is he's so versatile. One, he's a good player, a good teacher, whatever, but he can transcribe, he can commentate.
Yeah.
He's just a jack of all trades in a
Well,
sense.
you're leaving out the most important thing. He's very funny.
And he's funny. I love his wry sense of humor.
Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. He's almost got that English sense of humor now that he's moved to London. I like this play. Now is the time to break from the back. But he didn't have to, and I think I like it. So hit. You don't need that point anymore. Oh, it's wrong. You don't hit.
7-4, 6-4.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Wow. You don't hit. I was taught you're always supposed to hit whenever you can.
I would play this, I think.
I would have too, in a second. I would be afraid of crashing with double twos or something if I didn't. I guess you had enough timing. He went to the ace instead of hitting the second checker. He's trying to recirculate. It's a very hard game to play.
It's extremely difficult.
By the way, I'm not even sure Extreme Gammon plays it right without rolling it out.
Right. I mean, that's, and I think they've refined it with time, but it's historically been one of Extreme Gammon's weak points,
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, I would. There
big
are
back
several
game like
people
this.
I would bet over Extreme Gammon in this particular game.
And some of them are here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Mochi and Nesvat was great at these games. Jim Pasco, if he was here. Svobodny's here. He plays these incredibly well.
I didn't look at the bracket. Did Sabodny enter the main
He
tournament?
never enters the main tournament.
I know he
It's
normally
a waste of his
doesn't.
time. No,
He
he's not
normally
in. He's too busy looking for guys like me to play.
I was surprised to see him show up, but
Me too.
it's relatively close. He lives in Monte Carlo now. So. Now this is it's gonna start taking form now
Yeah.
because Aref's gonna start. He make a fourth point over there, he'll have a good board, and it's getting tougher and tougher to tiptoe through the tulips
Yeah.
trying to bring this home.
By the way, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if he had not doubled, it would still be a take now. I mean, so 26 rolls later, it never should have been doubled. And if things got really good, you
the
could have
answer
doubled them out.
is Sebastian, I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name, Kush or something of that nature. He says, why do never get it if you trust XG blind with all the moves, why not you trust him in back games? And I think the answer to that is historically, with rollouts and play and experience, people have learned that XG generally extremely good, except in back games. And
Yeah.
Snake back games is terrible. But
Well, back games and containment games are two areas that that Xavier has recently improved. Okay, is this a recube? Wait, stop! Don't roll too fast. Look at this. He doesn't even think about it. It's a redouble. He didn't even think about it. Oh my goodness! I would have really given that some
it
thought.
was really thin.
It
But
was-
I think you're right.
You got to stop
He,
and think about it.
He had a triple shot, a developing board.
And I don't think his coverage was duplicated either. His four was not duplicated. I really would have been happy he didn't recube now. But I
just step on out. I mean,
but how do you play that fast in such a critical point of the match?
you know, and I haven't even been paying that much attention. But this has been such a long game, such a complicated game. They're not in time crunch critical territory, but they're both down. Minute 40 and a minute and 2:52.
Yeah. Look at this, 4 checkers on the bar. Ooh, that's a big, big 3. Huge.
Yeah, but whoa.
Did he not recue because he thought he was too good, maybe? He rolled so fast. Maybe he thought he was too good. That's possible. But it wasn't anywhere near too good. It was just barely a recue. And a big take.
Okay, now he
He needs
needs
a 3.
that 3-point.
He needs a 3.
Close,
Oh, wrong guy to roll.
close enough.
Okay. Here's where we need the 3. A 2, okay.
Okay, he needs to make that point.
This is no longer a great 2-5 back game, by the way.
Oh, that's not. I might have been tempted to do that too.
I love
with
that
2 in the
play.
air.
I
liked
love
it.
that play.
I didn't look. Was it right?
Plus,
But,
you don't. Yeah, it's right. You don't have to worry about clearing it later, too.
Right, and
It was very sharp of him to see that.
You had him with 2 in the air.
Yeah.
You had some time to try to get around.
Very, very sharp to see that. Yeah, pick and pass. Even though
Same principle of
Yeah.
just trying to get around with him riding in the air.
What a great cube Aykut gave him.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
10 minutes ago, you didn't say that.
No, well, 10 minutes ago we were looking at a gammon.
Oh, this is what's going to be all or nothing.
3.
right?
Play the 3 first. So you want the spare there. That's it. And take the 6 off. Even though it's odd at the top, you want that spare. Otherwise, you got a real problem playing 2s. Good play. He made a very good play. Only high doubles here is what you're afraid of. That's a good roll.
Nice roll.
Take 2 off. Okay, I like that.
And keeps it even on the back. He couldn't last time. He could this time.
Intermediate or to this proceed check the table.
So backgammons don't matter. He
Backgammons don't matter. He's just got
just wants to win a gammon. He doesn't leave a shot and get hit.
He needs to get. He'd like to get a checker or 2 off of the 2 points so that he might can
Trap.
trap.
Yeah. There's a chance to do it. No.
Okay, you got to take him. Well,
Yeah, here we go. So he should take at least 1 off. Let's see.
one's got to go.
Oh, no.
No.
Why don't you do 1? I guess there's no way you would move the second one anyway. It didn't matter.
There it is. Aces are history. Boom. Aces.
What a fine double Aykut gave him to win this match.
And
Shows you what I know. That's it.
That's it.
It's a ball game.
Rosie O'Donnell is in
Very
the
good.
building.
And by the way, after he gave the cube, I thought he played very well.
Well, and he did carve it on down to 593.
But he played that game, a very, very hard game, very well. He didn't play it perfectly. Nobody plays the game perfectly. But my hat's off to Aykut. He deserved that win.
You know, it's interesting, and I thought it was a great line. I was talking to Aykut before the match. Actually earlier in the day, and I told him we were going to stream him on Stream One in honor of his defending champion status. And he says that's great. He says I want to be streamed on the first match and the last match.
You get the right attitude. Well,
He
Bill,
wanted to be on the Burj Khalifa, right? So he wants to be on
so
the
stay
first match and
tuned.
the last match.
Stay tuned. Another match, and it starts in 25 minutes. And I look forward to doing a lot more commentary with you, and hopefully not too much. I hope to be too busy winning.
Well, you're going to get in at least 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so in 30 minutes we'll have round 2. And then round 3 is actually tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. We have a Mochi lecture at 10 a.m. and those are, what do they call it? Gulf Standard Time, which is 8 hours ahead of USA Eastern.
I'll tell you, if I was running a tournament and I have Mochi to do a lecture, I give him 2 hours, so there's plenty of time to listen to him. And he's one of the best. His mind, he's not just the best player. He's a great teacher. I've learned so much from him, working with him over the past several years. And he's part of our Backgammon Learning Center, and he has written and helped so much of our teaching material. He's just brilliant. So that's a lecture I'm not going to miss. Bill, I'll see you more.
Okay, man. Good luck in
Bye,
the.
everybody. It's a great match to
Good
watch.
luck in the second match. Yeah, thank you for
Thank you.
stepping in.
My pleasure.
Okay, so we are, and I'll note we were up over for a first round match on a, what is this, a Thursday, prime time in Europe, perhaps, but early afternoon in the States. I know we hit like 275 or something at some point there in simultaneous viewers, and that's off the charts. We've fallen off a bit now as this match ended, but we want to, we'll have another match coming soon.
Just got corrected. Mochi's lecture was at 12, and the first match is at 1.
Is that right? Okay, well, my mistake. I guess it's 11 and 10 and 11 the next day.
It's 12 and 1.
12 and 1. I've been corrected, and I appreciate Steve Nelson for pointing that out to us.
Came all the way from Hong Kong.
Came all the way from Hong Kong to straighten us out. Yeah, it's every day the lectures are at different times. So Steve has corrected me. Mochi's at 12.
No, Michi's tomorrow, and Mochi's the next day.
That's where I was screwed up.
You know what you do?
I look at the damn thing is what I do,
I
right?
got a copy of it right here.
Your eyes and your nose confused.
Yeah.
I keep a copy of this.
Yeah, I should have done that. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, so the seminar tomorrow is Michi at noon. It's Saturday at 10 for Mochi and Zdenek at 10 on Sunday. So my confusion, I apologize. But Michi tomorrow, Mochi Saturday, Zdenek Sunday. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Phil.
So for those that are interested, Michi's seminar is whether to hit inside or outside again when you're
Against.
evidence.
Okay. Steve says Michi's lecture. They ought to change their damn names. Michi's lecture tomorrow is whether to hit inside or outside on a blitzing game. So both of those guys, all three of those guys that'll be doing the lectures are superb at what they do. And, just such great ambassadors for the game. And we're fortunate to have all of them in the game. So let's see, what else is going on here? It's funny, you can see with the commentator cam here, you can see behind me, the commentary area is actually on the edge of the pre-function area, which you can see a lot of milling around and people moving around behind me. That is Jeff Hall. Alex is shaking. And recognize his shirt as nothing else. Huh? But he's waving at us. Somebody recognized you, Jeff. So and then there's back to my left, which is otherwise here, is a rather large playing room. I don't have the brackets in front of me. I can pull them up, I guess, to see. So, let's see. Do I have those brackets here? I guess if I scroll, well, one, I need to refresh, I guess. Scroll all the way down to get to the first round pairings. There they are. Okay. Nevzat won his match. Alexandra Nupfer lost. It's interesting because both Nupfers are here. Normally, they have a couple of big dogs, and normally one or the other is at any tournament, not both. But here they both made it. Thomas Meer won his match, one of Denmark's strongest players. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ooh, Mochi did lose to someone from Turkey named Ibrahim Karaka. So Mochi, but this is a 3-loss tournament, so you're not dead. Phil beat Jakobowicz. Jakobowicz is a superb German player. Okay, still waiting on the Ray Fogerland match result. What else do we have here? Interesting match. Malise Sergiu of Romania beat Bakur Kaplan from, I guess, UK now, but it looks like a Georgian flag. Maybe that's his original country. Avi Cohen from the States won his match. Masoud Ahmadpour, an Iranian player who I've met, just a superbly nice guy. Really enjoy, he won his match, and I've enjoyed spending some time with him. It's interesting, this tournament is bringing together, I think Patrick Gibelli said during the opening ceremonies that there's people from 51 different countries, I believe, or something of that nature. And what's interesting is that, and I don't know how many ultimately showed up, and we'll have geographic national breakdowns a bit later, but originally something like 80 players from Iran had said they were coming, and and those for various reasons, some of them as far as them being able to get visas and various geopolitical considerations and what have you, they haven't gotten to they have a number of great players. And I saw BMAB results from a tournament they had over there recently, and just some great performances, some great players, but they haven't been able to travel that much and be introduced to the backgammon community and world. And we hope to be able to do a bit of that this week here from Dubai with all of the Iranian players here. Now, the next match, Amirkan, I don't know. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. The next match starts at 10 p.m. local, which is 18 minutes from now. So, and of course, in a Swiss format, all of those who won their first round matches will be playing among themselves. They'll play each other. And all of those who lost their first round match will all be playing among themselves. So, and that process continues as we go forward. And well, here's Ray Fogerland. What happened? What happened in your match?
Look at my face.
Oh, you're smiling, and it took a long time. So was it
Oh, man.
DMP or something?
Took me a long time to bring home 8-2. And I coasted to a 9-8 win.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. We
I had to. I
and
had
there's
20
Stefan behind me.
He won
Other chair.
also.
Bring that over if you want.
I had to leave a direct shot with 20 people watching. I volunteered a direct shot on the last double match.
There's my man, Tariq.
There he is.
TJ.
Hey, I want to get an interview with you one of these days.
He hadn't got his interview yet, Tariq.
5 minutes in.
Okay.
Tariq's with Myco, which is the local, well, it's an affiliated company with some of Patrick Jabelli's companies. And they're a local streaming platform. They do a lot of sports, cricket, soccer, international football, what have you. Huge streaming operation. And they're here doing, they're restreaming our streams to the UAE market, I guess you would say. And they're doing a lot of photojournalism. They're doing a lot of interviews of various players. They're Stubby says the first time I go to Monte Carlo and the real fun turns out to be in Dubai.
Bring one of these.
So
One.
yeah, this Tara and I neither had ever been to Dubai, so we wanted to avail ourselves of the opportunity that was presented us. So here we are. Now we also, we'll always stream Rory Pascar's tournaments, and Rory has always been a
Despite the
a
fact that
promoter of streaming, and has been a big promoter of ours, and we didn't want to let him down. So we're flying Tuesday, direct nonstop to Houston. We're on the ground 16 hours, and then we fly to Vegas to stream Roy's. This Las Vegas Open starts next Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and we'll be there doing that streaming. And I guess that's Ray's hometown. You'll be there doing some playing, huh?
No, I'll be sleeping after this 15-hour flight back. Get out of here. Here's what it did. Cost me $1,000 extra to come to this tournament because it would be ridiculous to fly to Vegas and play in the Masters jackpot in the $1,000 32-player level. So I told them I'll enter at $2,000, so I don't have to play the first night. But that's part of my big plan anyway. Not everybody knows that it's easier to get a weak opponent in the second round, or at least as easy as it is in the first one, because all the Steve Saxes and the pros all enter at the lowest amount because they want to, have the least amount of investment and the most profit. And they play, all the bozos enter there too because they don't want to waste a lot of money. And some of the bozos beat some of the Steve Saxes, and then you
pick them up in the second round.
Yeah. And sometimes the tournament is sparsely attended and they don't have enough players in the second round, so there's 2 or 3 buys. And you have a chance at those. You might lose in the first round and not get a chance. So there's a method to my madness.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's it's been a great year for backgammon. Some great tournaments out there. There's we're of course more familiar with the U.S. scene, I guess, and there's something like 20 tournaments on the ABT tour. But a lot of international tournaments going on, some established, some new. It's an exciting time for backgammon right now, in my estimation.
I just had some fun. We were at the Minnesota tournament, and John O'Hagan owned that. He won he beat me in the finals of the Longship Masters, which had that was a high roller event. And then he came through the losers bracket and beat Kip Woolsey in the finals of the ABT event. And only left me with 2 side events to win, so I don't know.
Well, I was looking at that, I guess, between O'Hagan, Kit, and y'all left nothing but bones for the rest of the crowd. What else? So anyway, was it Avi Cole?
Get him out of here. there any other guys here named Avi?
There he is.
That's what I want to know.
Did you win your first round match, Avi?
Of course.
Of course. Easy. Okay.
You
Well,
might
Avi
be
is
in
coming
trouble.
off. You won sunny Florida a couple of 3 weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yep.
So
You
you're
know why
on a
you
bit of a
won
hot
sunny
streak
Florida?
because you weren't there.
Yeah.
I figured that might be.
Yeah, where's Ray?
So Avi on a bit of a hot streak, and
Thank you. Congrats on your
thought he might bring that right on. So anyway, that's and it's funny, and I was teasing some people that Tar and I were in our thoroughness of preparation.
I'm sure
We were living in Houston where it was over 100 degrees every day in August, except for 1 or 2, I think.
So you said,
And,
let's take a week off and go someplace hotter.
So we can go somewhere else and we'll be acclimated, right? We're used to hot weather. Well, look, let me tell you, friends, there's hot weather and then there's hot weather. But I'll assure you another thing. I mean, of course, during the day here, maybe it's 110 degrees and the humidity is about 110%. But there's nothing wrong with the air conditioning systems in this hotel.
No.
And if you know anything about air conditioning, one of the big measures ambient temperature versus the normal temperature you might want to take it in the house. And in the States, in a lot of cities, the air conditioning systems are designed for a 20 or 30 degree difference in ambient temperature versus what you want to get it. Well, here they got to design them for a 40 or 50 degree difference in ambient temperature.
I actually turned the heat up in my room. I mean, they had it down to 22 centigrade, which I forget. When I was a fireman, I knew how to figure that
22
stuff
is
out.
72 degrees.
Oh, okay. Well,
You multiply by
ballpark.
2, take off 10% and add 32. It's a
Well,
quick
there's something about
calculation.
adding 32 and multiplying by 5/9 too. I don't know. That was the fire department for me. That's why there's so many big fires.
Well, they just didn't know the
Firemen can't
simple
do
way
the
to do
math.
it,
Yeah, well, you oil dudes know that kind of stuff.
So,
I used to work in the oil fields, you know that?
yeah.
But I never had a patent on how to. What do you?
I could stand up and model this shirt. These are
I think
staff
they'd
shirts.
rather I
They're-
stood
they're-
up and
they're-
modeled my shirt.
Yeah, well, what is that thing?
That's the El Dorado Casino.
El Dorado Casino. But these staff polo shirts they handed out or whatever are just really neat designs, and it's funny. I've had any number of people come up to me and, hey, can I get one of those shirts? And I told Patrick, you missed a great marketing opportunity by not.
Oh, he's not selling them.
He's
just
not
gave
selling them.
staff.
They're
Oh,
just for the staff. And I said, man, you should have, loaded up on those shirts. You could have sold them for some obscene price here and done quite well.
Well, I got 8 minutes till round two.
Yeah, it's interesting for all of y'all listening to this FTBG system, which is the tournament management system, if they will, is really neat. Did you ever get your app working?
Yeah, I went up to my room and I downloaded the app and then I did it and then I came down and they said you could go to your table and I wasn't finding it, but what I had to do was punch my name, just tap on my name in the app and then my match and table number came up.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's pretty neat.
it's all automated. They automatically send out text to all the players that tells them their next match, the time, the table, who your opponent
Oh,
is.
I can look and see who my next match is now. Let's see.
No, when
Oh,
when they do it, you'll get a text that shows it. And of course, like when you win a match, and Ray won a match, he his name tag here has a QR code on it. So
Don't show that, Bill. All those women will be trying to get it.
they'll be scanning your code.
Yeah, don't give them my code.
So they scan your code, so that automatically enters it into the system. That you won, and automatically updates everything. So it's really a pretty neat system. And they have, when you win, you stand up, raise your hand, and they have people patrolling out in the playing area there, and they come by and scan your code, and
They
Boom.
ask you the score of your
They
match.
ask the score, they punch in the score, and then guys, it's slick. It's really
Yeah, it's
slick.
pretty neat.
Most impressive.
Anyway, I'm gonna, I think, take a little break before I go back and play. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later, Bill.
Good luck, Ray, in your next match.
Thank you.
Ray Fogerlin, there's probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 people here from the States. A lot of Turkish players, a lot of Iranian players, quite a few British players, a number of German players, and then a scattering from everywhere. There's a couple of Danish players, a number of Russian players, and again, for various reasons, perhaps they've not been as prevalent on the international scene as they've been in recent years. So, so it's nice to see some of those again. Sergei Rorokin is here, Michael Vardanyan's here, and I know them both fairly well. And, with political situations and, COVID and all this kind of stuff, I hadn't seen them in quite a good while, and it's fun to see them. And Ian says there's 9 on the FTBG. That's 9, I presume, in the championship division. I'm not sure if any are in the intermediate division or not. And 9 Americans. 9 out of, I think there were 169. So it's interesting. It's really a neat place. Oh, if Emerkan is addressing that to me, yes. Tara and I both play backgammon, and we're not elite players, but we're competitive championship division players from a U.S. Designation, I guess you would say. But we've gotten. I guess so well known and so proficient at doing streaming and commentary that we do a lot more of that than we do play any longer. And we about the only tournament we get to play in each year is the New York Metro. We go up there, we just play, and that's about a month before our tournament in Texas, so it's kind of a fertile promotion ground as well. But I mentioned Texas. We, of course, do run the Texas Backgammon Championships in San Antonio annually on Super Bowl week. And, yeah, we've added some we had such a significant growth last year in the Texas tournament. Big crowd. It was the largest tournament in the United States this year based on the number of championship level players. We had expanded the space quite a bit last year. Now we found ourselves perhaps a bit shorthanded staff wise last year. So now, in addition to Tara and myself, Jesper Carlson, Jeff Proctor, Nick Blazer as commentary, we've added a couple of new staff members who are going to be great additions. One of them will be kind of Jesper's assistant, young man by the name of Jason Grandstedt, and you might recognize that name. And yes, he's Jorgen and Liz Grandstedt's son. Jason Grandstedt will be on the staff. And then from Israel, person that we've become familiar with at the World Championship, truly incredible live transcriber, Aviv Ziva from Israel will be in San Antonio providing transcription and other services. So we're super grateful for the support we've had over the years in our tournament and what we've developed in San Antonio. So anyway, and then what do we have? I don't have the calendars in front of me right now, but there's a number of nice tournaments coming up, and I'm not nearly as familiar with the international and European calendar as I might be, but I know that we have the two big tournaments in Cyprus coming up. Come over here and sit down just a second. Here's another good friend. I guess American Israeli. Are you a dual citizen or what's your status?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dual citizen.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Shai Ashraf, and how'd you do first round?
So far, so good. It was difficult, 8-8, but I managed to do 9-8, and I won the first one.
Well, that's great. Well, it's good
Yeah,
to see you again.
Thank you. You
I know for the last
It's a great.
couple 3 years you've primarily been living in Israel, so we haven't seen you that much in the U.S.
No, actually, since November, last November.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been in Israel since last November,
yeah.
and next month going back.
Going back to the States?
Yes,
back
sir.
to Vegas? Or
Yeah, no, actually going back to Miami.
to Miami. Okay. Okay, so that's great. So this is a good new event, I think, you know.
It's a great event.
And
great-
Patrick is he's putting so much into this
Atmosphere.
tournament. Huh?
First, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah.
It's amazing.
He's energetic. He's enthusiastic.
Absolutely.
He sunk his heart and soul into this tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's really
He needs to get a lot of compliments.
yeah.
Absolutely, he deserves it.
Check your name
And
before we start round two.
whoever missed this tournament should come next year
Yeah.
because it's a great atmosphere. And
We will start
also the games, of course. Pretty fun.
Okay.
Great location, great venue,
Yeah, and
amazing. Bottom line, amazing.
amazing place. To
Don't
visit.
miss it next year. Come over, enjoy. We love the game. Right, Mr. Riles?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me look here real quick.
Yep.
It's
The
we
next
got a
match.
number of matches. Tara and I need to decide who we're going to stream, so we're looking through here.
Wish me luck, please, Mr.
Okay,
Thank you
Shai.
very much.
I don't know who this is that you play,
Ooh,
so that might be a good thing. I don't know the name.
let me see. But
Who else? Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
what table am I playing?
I don't know.
That'll be
I
nice.
went on by it.
My internet doesn't work. Oh my gosh.
Well, I haven't seen any good pairings.
By the
that
way,
I-
before I'll go to my match, this opportunity, thank you and Tara for doing an amazing
Well,
job
thank you.
every tournament.
Thank you so
It's
much.
fun to watch it. The commentary from you, from Simburg, it's just amazing.
Well, thank you very much, and
I'm
good
gonna
luck.
go to my match.
Good luck in your match.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Why don't we go Sergey and Raj? That's good.
And then why don't we just get emojis? Dom, can you let's go?
Hey, take a one. It's not streaming, is it?
Okay, so Saturday.
Sergey and Jeff Hall or Sergey Orokin and who was he playing? Raj. Sergey Orokin and Raj. And let me look at the rest of this. Sergey Orokin and Raj and tell you what, let me step away 1 second and figure out who we're going to show on this second stream, and I'll be right back. So don't leave. Match is starting very shortly.
All players kindly take your seat. All players from both categories, master and intermediate. You are requested to take your seat. We are about to start.
Next one, please. Five. Next one. I don't know. Please. You want me to start here? They will see us now. You want me to start here? No?
All players from all categories can start their match now. Intermediate and master, you can go ahead. Good luck. And those players who doesn't have an opponent, please wait.